All right, it's a new 9 weeks, so we are going to make sure that we do the right thing. We should definitely have the notes on our desk already because we do what we're supposed to do, and we're not supposed to be on our phones, but you knew that. So, again, fourth quarter means, like in football or any sport, or if it's hockey, period, whatever, you want to finish strong, yeah? So let's finish strong. That means whatever your goal is for the year, this is the last possible time to get the grade you need to get. So we're going to look at the notes. They look like this. Okay. We're doing a unit on solid geometry or 3D figures. So did you know the last 9 weeks we've been flat, 2D. Okay. And now we're going to another dimension. All right. So 3D. 3D figures are also called solids. You can fill that in. And they can be made up of flat or curved surfaces, right? So, looking at that figure, what do you call a flat surface? What do you think? A face. So think of flat face. Can a face be curved? No, because it says flat. So, for example, if you had like a soup can on the side, that would not be a face because it's curved, okay? A basketball has no faces because it's all curved, okay? Now, what do you call it when those two faces touch? It makes a segment that's called a edge, okay? Now, when those edges meet at what? A vertex, okay? The vertices, if we're talking about more than one. All right, so that's some simple vocab. You need to know that today because we'll be counting faces and edges and vertices, okay? Now, I think you're familiar with these, hopefully from before. But let's talk about these 4 figures. Do y'all know what this first figure is called over here off to the right? Prism is correct. What about this next one? Cylinder, and then the third one, pyramid, and the fourth one, cone. All right, so these are not new figures, but you need to know some certain things about them because we're going to unfold them today, so to speak. So, the first one, y'all know this is where they put geometry teachers when they break the law. They throw them into Prism. So, Prism is formed by 2 parallel faces, okay? And those faces are called bases. How many bases? 2 bases, parallel bases. And between those 2 bases, what shapes do you see? Rectangles are between them, okay? So here's the deal. If and when we unfold these figures, if you see 2 bases and rectangular faces between them, that's a prism. Next one we said was a cylinder. All right. Again, 2 parallel bases that are circles. Okay. So again, 2 bases, and the side of it is a curved surface. So you tell me, is this curved surface a face? No. Not a face, not flat. Okay. All right. So those were the 2 bases. The next 2, how many bases do these have? 1, right? So this 1 base figure that has a point at the top that'll poke your eye out, what's that called? The vertex at the top of a pyramid. Okay. It's formed by A, that means 1, base on the bottom. Now this time, what are all the faces around the side? Triangles. Because at the top, they're going to all touch and make that point. So again, the sides are triangles. So again, if you unfold this figure, you see 1 base, triangles on the side, that's a pyramid. Last but not least, it looks like a pyramid with a circle on the bottom. A cone. Again, A1 base, that's a circle. And is the side of this cone a face or no? No, it is not, right? All right, at the bottom here, we have a specific type of prism with 6 square faces. What's that called? A cube, right? So a cube has squares all the way around, and we kind of already said this, but a face is a specific face of the solid. More specifically, a base is a face by which the figure is classified. So we name our pyramids and our prisms by the base, and I want everyone to kind of underline this a few times because I want you to remember this. A base is a face. So if you are counting the faces on a prism or something, you're going to count the bases as faces. You can go ahead and flip it over, please. So when we're naming these things, cylinders and cones, the C's are always going to be the same. There's no other name for it. Cylinder is a cylinder, cone is a cone. But the P's, prisms and pyramids, those always need to have a first name. So you can't just say prism without telling me what kind of prism, right? With our heads up, not laying down, not taking a nap in the back of the room. So, again, prisms and pyramids have a first name. Let's look at this next one, this example. How many bases does this have? Okay, 1 base. And all the sides are what? That was terrible. Let's try it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And all these sides are triangles. What do you call it when there's 1 base and triangular sides? Pyramid. So that would be the last name or the second part of what we would call this. It is a pyramid. Put it right here. But it needs a first name. And the first name is based on the base. No pun intended. So the base is a pentagon. So we need the adjectival form of pentagon. Pentagonal. Or pentagonal. We'll go with pentagonal. Pentagonal pyramid. Try to say that 3 times fast. Faster than that. That was slow. Alright, well anyways. Pentagonal pyramid. The solid below over here. The second one is what? How many bases? Sorry. Okay, I got it. So we have 1, 2 bases that are both hexagons. Now what do you call it? So what do you call it when you have 2 bases connected by rectangles like that? Prism. And since the base is a hexagon, hexagonal. Delete it all? No. Here we are. Now, a blank is a diagram. This is a new word you need to know. Okay? What is this? Looks like a cross. It was a cube until we unfolded it. Okay? Thank you. It is a 2-dimensional figure. So if you take that 3D figure and go and flatten it out, that's called a net. NET net. You're going to get caught in the net today. All right? So these, all around the room, hopefully, maybe you've seen them. Okay, these are nets. So you take a 3D figure, unfold it, kind of like on the bottom of this page, you can see what some nets are. Okay, so again, it's a diagram of the surfaces of a 3-dimensional figure that can be folded to form the 3-dimensional figure. To identify a 3-dimensional figure from a net, look at the number of faces and the shape of each face. Now today, you're able to hold it, fold it, and see it, right? But if it's on the paper, you can't do that. So you need to be able to tell certain things about the faces and the bases, okay? So let's do this one together. How many bases are here? 2, and they're connected by rectangles. So again, 2 bases with rectangles. What's that called? A prism. But what kind of prism is this? You look at the base. So we just outlined it. It is a triangle. So we say triangular. Okay? Triangular. Now the next one, how many bases are there? 1 base. And the sides are all what shape? Triangles. Now you know if all the sides are triangles, it's going to meet at a point at the top. So that would be a pyramid. What kind of pyramid? What's the base? Square. The base is a square. So it's a square. It's not squaregular. That would be funny though. Square pyramid. Okay. Squarangular. No, it's just square. Both. It's always the base that tells you the first name. All right, and then, but remember, cone and cylinder, no first name, because it's always the same. So you're going to use this information to do the assignment. There's 11 nets around the room, and you're going to take this info, answer the questions front and back.